Hey YouTube. So I'm walking home from work right now, and I am just trying out something, test for a new show that I'm going to be trying out. So I'm going to be recording the first episode right after this video. See what you guys think. The main test right now is I'm just recording straight on my camera as I'm walking home, and so I'm talking kind of loud. Hopefully you guys can hear me good enough, especially with this camera. I'm not super familiar with its audio capabilities. If I end up needing to, I do have these headphones with a control talk on them, so I can record to my phone as a separate recorder, like a lapel mic, which would get a little bit closer audio, maybe a little bit better on my voice. I would really like to avoid that. I want this to be something simple that I can easily upload, you know, just anytime. When I'm done recording, it's done. I just upload the file to YouTube. That way I can have another show that I'm doing that doesn't require a lot of post work and stuff, and then I end up not uploading the episodes like I have with some of my other shows, like Minecraft and food. So, there's one thing. I'm also recording in the MP4 format on my camera, which I haven't really used before. It's the lowest quality recording format, I believe. There's MP4, then there's AVC HD, and then something like XAVC or something higher than that, which supposedly is better. I haven't tested that one because my SD card isn't fast enough to record that format. But I'm doing MP4 because MP4 is the only video format that this camera can send by Wi-Fi to my phone. So when I'm done, if I want to send this to my phone and upload it from there, that's how I'm going to have to do that. And so hopefully this works out. Now the show, I'll let you know what I'm trying. The show it's a show where I talk about stuff. It's going to be called Let's Talk. Really quickly, see that right there? That's corn husk. There was a fire around here, and I saw when I got to work this morning, around 9 in the morning, saw a helicopter flying over, working to put out fire. I didn't actually see the fire, but then during lunchtime it was raining corn husk in the parking lot. Anyways, so the show is called Let's Talk, and I'm going to talk about stuff. And I've had lots of ideas of things to talk about, and I wanted to do this show for a long time. I never did because, like, the script and all the editing work, but I said, you know what? I kind of don't want a script because all the work that takes, and I'm doing other shows that could benefit from scripts. But then also because I kind of want this just to be me talking to you. I don't want it to feel like a really well-scripted video about a subject. I want it just to be me talking to you as if we just barely started a conversation on whatever. So this show is going to be unscripted, and I'm probably going to be filming it while I'm out and about walking around, because that's a really good time for me to do it. And then it'll just be something simple where I record and then upload the episode. Oh yeah, that's right. One kind of downside to not having scripts is you forget stuff like I just did now. You kind of sort of forget exactly one little element. Like I might be reviewing like a phone or something, and I'll take a look at the texting app, and then after I'm done taking a look at that texting app, I'll go on and look at the camera app, and then be like, oh wait, I forgot something in my texting app. And so, yeah. But, so the thing that I forgot was I did several walking scenes with my other Sony point-and-shoot camera, the W650, I think it was, which no longer, it works, but not the SD card and one other problem. So, and those turned out alright. You could actually hear me okay as I was walking and doing food. Now, the other thing too that I need to think about when I'm doing this, I could, like for right now, some of the times you can see how, I believe it's kind of hard for me to see on a tiny screen, but I can see how the picture's kind of going in between light and dark, because part of the time, switch arms here, part of the time the camera is focused directly on my face, and so it's compensating for my face being a little bit darker because the sun's behind me, and the other part of the time we have am I thinking about? The other part of the time, it's kind of more pointing at the sun, and so it's going to adjust for that. I've noticed with this camera that that is kind of like horrible, and so you want to find just use manual settings and find a good in between for your shots. Or I wondered, like, so what do I do? What do I do if I have a shot that goes between a light area and a dark area and there's nothing I can do about it? Ideally, you make the shot all uniform, and then from there, with the shot uniform, you go on, you shoot it, and where was I going with this? I'm across the street here. Oh yeah, so you make the shot, you try and make the lighting uniform in all spots of the shot, and then from there, if you needed one part darker, you could darken it somehow in post, maybe. I don't know. I don't know exactly how, because I've never really had to think about shots with different lighting sets, like different areas that are lighter and darker drastically. But I mean, the reason I mention this, I've had I think on my 22nd birthday video, because I was a little bit closer to the camera, or was it farther on one of the clips, it ended up being a different lightness of shot. I had those problems with my whatchamacallit, with my my Friends Are in Holes poem video. There's a slight problem with the final clip on that. And so I've really come to appreciate manual mode. And really drastically, I've seen this when I was pointing my camera at the back door, and the back door of my house was in the center of the camera, and so it was compensating for all the light coming in the window on the back door. But then I moved just like 2 inches over to the left, so now the center of focus was on the couch arm. And suddenly, so before the back window was okay, you could see outside and the wall right next to it, but everything else was really dark. And then, and so then on the other side of things, when I moved over an inch to face the couch, then the room was nice and you could see what was in the room, but the window was completely washed out. That stuff I'm still learning how to compensate for, especially in photos. I saw a photo where something that looked beautiful. My eyes, what I saw, I could see clearly, and this is how amazing human eyes are. But I was looking up at a tiny opening in some leaves in the trees. I forget what was through that opening, but the kind of darkish leaves in the trees, plus what was through in the lighter area inside the opening in the middle of all the area of leaves, I liked both of those together. And playing around with the camera, I couldn't find a setting that had both of them in view and in focus. And so I'm not sure exactly how you would handle that. And my best thing that I could think of to do, which then I never bothered to edit the photo, but the best thing that I could come up with is to take a photo where the leaves look good, and then take a photo where the middle and the leaves look good. And then the only problem with that is I wasn't holding the camera in exactly the same spot. I had to push a few buttons to tweak some things. But that's the best thing I could come up with, although I never actually got that photo edited. I don't do a lot with the photos I take, even though I do take some really beautiful photos. But so, anyways, that's kind of where I'm coming from, what my plans are with this show, what I want to do, and I'm just going to talk about stuff. Pick a topic and talk about it. And yeah. So, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this, if you guys are okay with the way the audio sounds right now. You know, if you want me to have a lav mic on so I get it closer. I know most people, when they're out and about like this, they do use a lav mic or something, because it's not going to pick up as far away. It has to be closer to the source, so you pick up less car and more person. But anyways, I am coming up on my bus stop, so I'm going to stop recording, and then I will film the actual first episode of Let's Talk when I get to my next walking segment. Oh, yeah, another thing I forgot, and this is why I might need to take notes. I might need to have some notes with me. So maybe not necessarily a script, but just a basic idea of talk about this, and then go to here and talk about this. Because a lot of this I do think about, I do spend like several weeks actually thinking about whatever it is that I'm going to talk about. And then from there, I go on and I do a video and I forget most of the stuff I had thought about the previous week or so. So, the thing I forgot about is, with me just talking, it's kind of like a talk show, is the feel that it might end up being. You might end up having it like a talk show. If I'm just talking about, which is what they do. And you know, a lot of talk shows, I'm sure they have notes or something. They have pre-planned what they're going to say, they practiced it a few times, and then they have some basic notes ready for them there. So yeah, I will see you guys in the first episode of Let's Talk.